you know what? I'm taking this to my grave. One of the biggest things in, seeing mum as a single parent.
Yeah.
I think not having that father figure in my life had a big role. I want to be a lawyer,
Did you?
I want to be a lawyer. You see, my biggest issue is resilience. I need to prove to myself that I am the best at what I do.
Okay.
It might not be true.
Yeah.
In year 11, they used to take us to the ice gym in Hampstead Hall, do some bench and whatnot. Don't even know what we're doing, to be honest with you. But then as soon as we hit year 12, year 13, Handsworth Leisure Centre, we started going to that gym because it was free as well. Our bench is 200 kilo. Somehow gets my gear down. I can't keep asking on them for a minute.
Yeah.
Because I see what she went through. I want to take anything off her,
Yeah.
I want to make it myself.
What makes you happy?
I'll be honest.
What makes you content?
It's changed, I think one of the biggest things that makes me happy now is actually just making people smile and laugh. I've been offered jobs in London, getting an extra 10 grand. You can have a successful business by putting 24 hours a day. For me, again, like you said, you either take the risk or you feel secure. There's so many people, so many stories that I've heard where people are working for a company and they're absolutely loving life. It's been positive in the sense where people are happier, that they are more flexible. A lot of people that are in this position, and a lot of these rich business owners, absolutely ecstatic for them.
Welcome to another episode of Evolve and Inspire. Today we have someone that is quite close to me, more of a brother than a friend. His name is Sanjay Khangura, and he was one of the youngest financial controllers at a large organisation in the UK. What is truly inspiring about Sanjay's story is the adversities he had growing up, and the fact that he had to do a stint with me for his internship. Sanj, welcome to the podcast.
Well, firstly, thank you so much for inviting me on the podcast. It's crazy to see you here, to be honest with you. I'm sitting down and I'm like, is this Huzaifa? Oh, what's going on? Now I feel famous. But no, thank you very much for inviting me.
Take me back right to the beginning. Where did you grow up? Was it Aston?
No, it was actually Handsworth. It was actually Handsworth.
Oh, so you went from Handsworth to Aston, back to Handsworth?
So, it's a funny story. Don't know if the viewers need to know. However, basically, grew up in Handsworth, born and raised. However, that wasn't even my initial. This is something you don't know.
Okay.
So, when I was born, I actually lived in Northfield.
Oh, did you?
For the first... For the first 2 or 3 years, we lived in Northfield.
Explains a lot.
And then obviously, as you know, like the traditional background, someone having a baby and then, without certain things, going on.
Yeah.
But then we end up moving back to Handsworth and, mom, big up Mumsy. Single parent, literally, absolutely smashed it. Bought her own house in Handsworth. And then the reason why you say Aston is because, not going to go into details, but the house burnt down. Someone put a candle. Let's just say the whole thing caught
Are you sure it was
fire.
a candle off, or you're cooking toast or something?
No, I can't cook, I'll be honest with you. But no, seriously, house literally burnt down to bits. We ended up moving to Aston with one of my other aunties. Process took absolutely long. Ended up moving back, and yeah, man, God willingly, I'm here now on this podcast with yourself.
Where did you go to school?
School, St. Clair's. Then we went to St. John Wall. Then St. John was a story in itself, because that school, I would say, taught me a lot of lessons. And we're not just talking about life lessons, about someone being intellectual, and actually, being this person that's going to be Einstein. It taught you morals, having these traditional values, not just how to stand up for yourself, but actually be a bit more, what do they call it, streetwise. St. John Wall was amazing, I'll be honest with you. Literally changed my whole persona in life. Then I say college. I wasn't really allowed to go to college. Sixth
Why
form.
weren't you allowed to go to college? Oh, your mum said no.
Oh, listen, you know yourself, man, with the cultural values. With the cultural values, the way it is. If you go to college, you let loose, apparently it's called. But no, I ended up going sixth form, Handsworth Grammar sixth form, which was a learning curve in itself.
Did you get good grades in school?
I got really good grades in school,
Was that like primary school and secondary school? You got really good grades?
I'll be honest with you. So this is where the switch up happens. And
Yeah.
you know what? I'm taking this to my grave. Literally, what actually happened. So primary school, I'm telling you, I got 6 in maths because we had the gradings then. So you had level 6, I had a level 5 in English and level 5 in science. But obviously St. John Wall being St. John Wall, the admin, sorry guys, but the admin was a bit all over the place. They put me in the bottom sets for everything. Set 2 maths, set 5 English, set 4 for science. I was scared to go home. I went home, I had to try to do the Uno reversal. I was like, yeah, basically, mom, like, you know, for maths, it's different. You know, 2 actually means high, but, you know, in English, it's all different. I'll be honest with you. You know how Asian parents are, we won't get into that. But literally, it just motivated me more. And I think this is something which I kind of stand by. You know, yes, you can have your set 1 kids, you can have your set 2 kids, but the whole system in itself, you know, where we talk about culture and there's like these big debates, you know, certain people are certain castes, but you're implementing that in schools. You're putting people in sets. And what you're basically saying is that these are the clever kids and these are...
And not so clever kids.
And it's... My personal opinion, it's bad because from the get-go, you're basically saying to these people that they are unfortunate.
Do you think that the reason why they do that in schools, and I'm not a big advocate for schools anyway, but do you think the reason why they do that is so that if you're in set 1 and you've got 4 or 5 different, 15, 20 different kids that are set 1, you're going to challenge each other and compete with each other to become better. And if you're in, for example, if you put like someone that's a set 1 student in set 4 or 5, it might do the opposite.
See, I semi-agree with you, but I don't, because I'm talking about my own experience here. Because when I was in set 5, and, you know, big up Miss Gigax, because I promise you, if it wasn't for her, like, yo, the way that she said to me straight away, she goes, you shouldn't be in this, you know, set. And I was like, nah, it's all right, you know, it is what it is. But I promise you, one of the biggest things when I was in there, like there was a guy called Elliot Giles, and I remember we was in our groups, and yes, people messed about a little bit more. However, you know, we worked well together, we motivated each other, and we actually started moving up sets. You know, we done the English exam, got into set 2. Don't get me wrong, when I got to year 8, you know, set 2 English, set 1 science, set 1 in maths. However, it was a good experience as well because, you know, when you're mingling in with people that, you know, whatever the classification is for these schools, I personally think everything should be mixed from the get-go.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, you're pulling people apart. And one of the biggest things, you know, like they say, the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. Why are you starting this classification in school? You know, maybe there needs to be a social experiment where you mix everyone together, you know. But we'll see, you know, I ended up all right.
Yeah.
But I remember one of the teachers turned around to me in, I think, year 10. She said to me, you know, because I never used to get in trouble a lot. I reckon I was in some unfortunate situations.
Not your fault.
I'm not saying nothing, you know. I'm not even saying names, but, you know, unfortunate situations. But I remember, you know, some of the teachers, you know, again, not even going to say names, but there's one teacher who I'll never forget. She turned around to me and she goes, you know, you ain't going to get these grades. I said to her, I promise you, you're going to see my name till the day you die. I said, till the day you die, you're going to see my name. And obviously, somehow, with the motivation from the parent, ended up getting 17 GCSEs.
17?
17,
Why
man.
17?
We won't get into it, but you know some of them B-techs that count for 5 GCSEs. Yeah, I got that.
No, we're not having that, bro. GCSEs are GCSEs, but no B-techs.
Listen, that meant, the AAT one, man, that class is 5.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll give you AAT, bro. I'll give you AAT. What was the pressures like from home in terms of getting good grades?
You know, this is something, and I will say the brother's name, and he laughs about it to this day. It is in our circle, Naib CP. You know, one of the biggest things he always takes he mocks me about was in year 8, we had a little group that we always used to go, you know, called it the Saturday crew. You know, we go to Handsworth Leisure Centre. Big up Handsworth Leisure Centre, free swimming baths, you know, like that. You know, you got the blue card.
Yeah,
you do 10 metres. I remember I weren't the best swimmer, so when he weren't looking, I walked. Got the card. We used to go there, then from the AK Kebab House, £1.99 chicken and chips, chili mayonnaise. And that day, I must have been at, I was out late. And this is year 8 we're talking, you know.
Yeah.
I must have come home at, I think, I'm going to say 9 or 10 o'clock. Obviously, I can't remember the age group.
Yeah.
Mum went straight militant. you ain't going out. Year 9, year 10, I was on tag.
On year 9 and for 2 years?
Yeah, I was on tag. I got the brother saying to me, free my dog. But to be fair, it helped. It did help. I'd say them home pressures of, you know, at the time, I used to, you know, you kind of, I wouldn't say flip out, but
Rebel.
I wouldn't even say rebel, to be honest with you. I was a kind of good kid.
Yeah.
But it was good because it taught me restraint. I'd say one of the biggest things it taught me was, you know, at them times it was, why can't I go out? But now I look back and I think to myself, if I did go out, where would I be? You know, you always have them questions. You have them questions. But yeah, it helped, to be honest with you. You know, I ended up getting decent grades, I guess.
So, you know, you mentioned about your teacher, one of your teachers saying that you're not going to get the grades that you want, yeah? What was it during your upbringing that gave you that resilience to say, you know what, no, you're even though you're older than me, even though you're more experienced than me, I'm going to prove you wrong, rather than saying, yeah, probably not, you know what, it is what it is.
Do you know what it is? And obviously, you know, I can't believe you go in here already.
Yeah.
You're making me go deep already. You know what I mean? I might even need to crack up Red Bull for this one, you know. Bit of energy. But to be fair with you, one of the biggest things is, you know, seeing mum as a single parent.
Yeah.
I think not having that father figure in my life had a big role, you know, from the get-go. You know, first being confused. Because it was confusing, you know, on Father's Day. It was crazy. I see everyone making these Father's Day cards. I got a card from my grandma. I'm thinking going home, going, yo, what's going on here? You know, obviously you don't really think about it too tough. You think, okay, cool, you know, father's not present. But not having a father, yeah, I don't know whether it was something that was just instilled, but it was more like, it was just there. Like, it was just like, yo, I'm the man of the house.
Did it make you grow up quicker than
100%,
you needed to?
100%. I still had a childhood.
Yeah.
You know, I say that to everyone. You know, a lot of people, especially this day and age, we did it ourselves. No, you didn't. You know, for that first 18 years, rent-free, no bills. Yeah. We're lucky.
At what point did you feel like, yeah, okay, this is my responsibility? This is going to be my responsibility. Not even, this is my responsibility now, or at what point did you have that realization that you're going to get to a certain age and this household is going to be partly your responsibility?
I'll be honest, man. You know, overhearing certain conversations, you know, and again, I'm not even going to out certain conversations, but certain conversations are, you know, witnessed.
Yeah.
And even heard. And like, I'm talking, my mum is amazing. You know, she made sure I had everything. Yeah. You know, we're talking PlayStation 1s, PlayStation 2s, Game Boy SPs.
What kind of games did you play on PlayStation?
I'll be honest, I'm a nerd, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a Pokemon fan.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you're not choosing, you don't even know about Charmander, let's just leave that. All you need to know is Pikachu.
Yeah.
But
Pikachu.
No, seriously, games, you know, that was another funny one. I bought Getaway to the house, loaded the game up, they're excited, you know what I mean? Like, oh, yeah, 18, I don't know what 18 means, but I think 1.8 just means the 1.8. No comment. No comment.
13?
Potentially. Yeah. I just like, the 18 just means what version it is.
Yeah.
And then the starting scene was in a strip club. Finished, I'll be honest with you, PlayStation 2 got locked up. But no, seriously, going back to the question, I think it was not having a father figure.
Yeah.
Literally changed my kind of view on life.
Yeah.
Because people don't realize, you know, especially when you don't have a father figure, it's complete confusion. You know, I'm lucky at the older stages where I got to, like, a lot of my friends, you know, not just yourself, but apart from that, you know, I've got Imran from, you know, Transform Now. Yeah. You know, one of the biggest influences when it comes to life aspects. You know, a lot of my friends are older.
Yeah.
You know, we're talking from age ranges 38 to 45.
Yeah.
You know, but not having a father figure and understanding that, you know what, there's only so much a mother can teach you. You know, you can have the caring side, but then it's up to yourself to understand, well, what role does a man play in the household?
So, you know, like, obviously you went sixth form, you went Handsworth Grammar, and then after that, at the point when you were 16, did you know what you were going to go into?
Nah.
I
wanted to be a lawyer, you know.
Did you?
I want to be a lawyer. You see, my biggest issue is
resilience.
Yeah. You know, when I went to Handsworth Grammar, you would think to yourself, I've done AAT, I've done this. Okay, we kind of know what path. Nah, I'm opposite.
Yeah.
If I'm rubbish at something, and I know this might sound productive.
Yeah.
A lot of people say, well, that's a bit silly, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nah, if I'm bad at something, I need to be better. I need to prove to myself that I am the best at what I do.
Okay.
It might not be true.
Yeah.
You know, when we play Monopoly. I am the best, by the way. But no. The Monopoly's thrown me off, to be honest with you. So when I went to Handsworth Grammar, the subjects I chose were completely confusing. I chose English Lit, Government and Politics, Law. Then I did Maths, and then obviously again, I wanted to do the AAT. I did that after school as well, to be fair.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I was active. Even though even though I had a lot of, I wouldn't say massive friend circles. Everyone always says Mr. Popular. I'm not Mr. Popular. I just respect a lot of people.
Yeah. Do a lot of people respect you?
I would hope so. I'm not going to talk about our group because, someone that benches 200 kilo, somehow gets mocked all the time. But no, seriously, chose subjects which I wasn't really too good at. AS, and I think the one thing they did good was, like now the A2s, so with the, when you go into sixth form college, when I was there, you have the first year where you do ASs, get a provisional grade, get your university place. As soon as I seen that, so I ended up getting a ABB.
Yeah.
And then that grade, they gave me an unconditional at Birmingham and BCU.
Oh.
I said, yo, year 13, right off. I'm learning about life. I'm like, yo, I'm good. I don't need to do anything. And to be fair, again, unconditional places at universities, it's just basically telling you, yeah, I got a year off now.
Yeah.
Year 13 was eventful. It was more of a year where I ended up going to the gym.
When did you start your gym journey?
Gym was Handsworth. Handsworth gym, we started. So it started in St. John Wall. We started going on, I think it was Wednesdays. We used to travel to Hampstead Hall in school in year 11. They used to take us to the ice gym in Hampstead Hall. Doing some bench and whatnot. We didn't even know what we were doing, to be honest with you. But then as soon as we hit year 12, year 13, Handsworth Leisure Centre, we started going to that gym because it was free as well.
What was your motivation for going to the gym at that particular moment in time?
I'll be honest with you. It was T-shirt training,
Okay.
And so let me tell you the reference to T-shirt training because I know you're thinking, what do you mean? A lot of brothers in that age group, all we used to train, biceps, chest, and lats.
Okay.
That's all it is. A lot of people call it Macero training. Literally, we're just there. You just want to look good in a T-shirt.
Okay.
And we won't talk about the gym journey because I'll be honest with you, there's certain things which I got done over myself. I end up taking anabolic mass whey protein, basically weight gainer.
Yeah. Oh, at that age?
Yeah, brother. From year 13 into uni, I'm there. Like, I'm going, I'm getting stronger. I don't see no veins. I don't see no definition. I'm looking in the mirror. I'm going, what's going on? And then I showed Naib. The thing. He goes, USN muscle anabolic fuel. He goes, are you dumb? Whey protein out the window.
How long did you take that whey protein for?
I was taking it for a good 6-7 months. I'm taking, free. I was on it religiously. I'm saying 3 a day. I just become basically a chubby kid.
Yeah.
And then took ages to lose weight like that, It messed me up completely. I think that's one of the things that in schools, they need to teach certain things like, for example, management skills. They need to teach in PE, nutrition.
Yeah.
I know that they teach nutrition if you choose it, but still from an early age, you should be telling people about what we should be consuming because some of the consumption, families always say, why don't you have home food? Home food's bad for you. Roti salan's crazy. It's not digesting. You're going to end up looking like a laddu. School was good, man. It was good.
So when you went into your gym journey, did you ever think that you're going to be, for the next 14 odd years, you're going to be religiously on gym?
I'm not even, you know what?
What's your motivation for gym now?
I'll tell you, there's 3 reasons for gym. So we're going to start at the beginning. One was purely lose weight, look good.
Yeah.
That was more of an egotistical thing.
Yep.
It was to fit in society, because we don't realize the social pressures we have. You know, we're not going to just talk about six packs, but we want to be dominant. We're men. We want to be dominant. And obviously, society teaches us you need to be the strongest. You need to be the king of the hill. And that's how it always was. It was like,
was it something to do with not having a father that actually motivated you to be more of a man per se by going to the gym?
Now you know. But what I would say, and like you said, there's certain things that happen in the household where you want to make sure you can take care of things.
Yeah.
Looking after mumsy.
Yeah.
There was one occasion when I was 16 in One Stop. It happened. If you remember, can you remember there was a McDonald's in One Stop?
Yeah.
So in that McDonald's,
you used to get the bus passes at the back of the 199 fillet fish.
Yo, I still get them now. Yo, 2 meals for $2.49. But no, literally 16 in that McDonald's, and I don't even want to overgraduate or over-exaggerate. The brother, he's a big brother. From then, he's looking like Goliath. And I remember it was me, my auntie, and my mum. We were sitting in the little thingy, and this guy must have had a chip on it. He's with his kid as well.
Yeah.
Don't know what happened. Start swearing at my auntie. In them days, I've just lost it. Grabbed him. Like them ones just out of instinct. I don't know how to punch or anything. I'm doing Nintendo Wii punches like this. I pushed him on the finger. I'm going, yo, move. And I'm thinking, maybe Jim's working. Saying, you're 16, But no, literally, I think it is that dominant male thing that society teaches us, that we have to be the strongest. But then going through the gym journey, and I'm going to say this, strength mob to the world. It's TMC wear as well now.
Yeah.
But brothers such as, Warner, Moses, one of the strongest brothers who, IPF competitor. You got Gadget, different gravy. Warner motivated me a lot. I can't lie. Looking back on it, if it wasn't for Warner, I wouldn't even be in the group, And then,
but to be honest, if you say if it wasn't for Warner, but realistically, Warner through me and Naib.
Oh, get out of here,
you do
man.
That,
listen, I didn't...
Gadget, Warner,
No. You introduced me to quite a few brothers. Yeah. I'll give you that. However, you ain't on gym, though.
Yeah, but I was on football then.
But no, what I'd say is there's so many brothers, but there's one brother who I ain't going to lie to you, and this is a crazy story. And this, I told Dawood this himself. Dawood used to train in heartbeats. And I remember, watching his bench, he'd done the 300 kilo bench. And this is when I'm not going to say mega young. I can't remember the age group, but I seen the 300 bench and I'm thinking, I want to train with my brother. Imagine the coincidence. I train with him now. He's a strength mob. Yeah. And it's just mental. But Doc was definitely a big inspiration because he was straight up and blunt. Yeah. I remember, so after Handsworth Gym, I went to a proper gym, which was Metroflex. Anti-Metroflex. Yeah. Anyone knows about Metroflex, you already know. Best gym ever. It was a startup. I remember I went into Doc's office, there bumps in, and he goes, you're a fat bastard, innit? Sorry for my language. I looked at him. I said, yo, who you talking to? I can't say anything. Yo, he's 6'5". And I'll be honest with you, if it wasn't for Doc, he was one of the biggest reasons that, not just my journey, but the advice that he gives is priceless. Yeah. He's a brother that I think personally, he's not bragged about enough. He has 2 PhDs, working on another one. His knowledge is so insane. I can't even get into things because, he's just too clever.
Doc, if you want to come on the podcast, just let us know.
I'll reach out to him for you, After this, I'll reach out to him. That's a promise.
Yeah.
But then going, fast forward, went to Unit 4, started benching a bit, this, that, the other, got a 180 bench. I just got into it, just wanted to be strong. And now, training at Kingdom, Unit, Emporium, Coliseum, Foundry. I'll be called a gym beep.
Yeah. I mean, the shoe does fit.
But no, the motivation, truthfully, is just being strong. And like you said, protecting your family, not just and your loved ones.
Yeah. In terms of, obviously, you left Handworth Grammar, and this is when I first met you, when you joined BCU.
It was a mess,
So how was BCU? And
Shit.
what Why accounting and finance?
Accounting and it was accountancy straight with a sandwich.
Oh,
Yeah.
accountancy straight. Okay.
And when I say sandwich, I don't mean cheese sandwich.
Yeah.
Talking about just like the
Greg's.
work experience. The work experience which I did with you, but we'll come on to that. Now with uni itself, I'll be honest, this is where I think education just completely goes out the window. And it goes back to maybe this is why sixth form is better.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot more people like watching over you. And I guess it's probably when you go university, you become this young adult. You need to do everything yourself. But I'll be honest with you, Ronnie, I didn't go in much, you know.
Yeah.
I was doing everything online. First year, I can't remember going in.
Yeah.
First year was, I think, what the freshers year.
Freshers, yeah.
Yeah, first year was a mess. I still passed everything.
Yeah.
Confusing, I got first. I'm like, oh, maybe I'm clever. Uni's easier than A-levels, by the way.
Yeah, everyone says that.
100%.
Everyone says that the jump from GCSEs to A levels is a lot higher than from A levels to uni.
Second year, got it done easy peasy, you know. Then I did my the work experience, arithmetic accounting, if you know, travel pal, my travel pal. Yeah, man, that was, to be fair, that was one of the best experiences. And it's the best experiences for the wrong reasons. It made me realise I don't want to be a finance accountant. Anything to do with tax.
Yeah.
Not because it's the same thing over again.
Did you realise it at that particular moment in time, or did you realise it after you started?
No, it was there, bro.
Oh,
It was there,
you didn't
bro.
realise it when you started your career?
No, it
as a
was there,
group?
bro. Every single day doing your dad's timesheets. Every single...
That wasn't part of accounting.
Oh, it wasn't.
Nah.
I thought it was Excel training. But no, seriously, the experience I had with the experience that I had with yourself, I think two things kind of came from that. One was working with clients and being able to speak to people. You know, being able to adapt your normal voice to how you are now.
I'm gonna bring in something here. At that time, you were also working part time. How difficult was it for you to manage working part time?
He's doing this and he's doing this. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing.
I
like it. I like it. I like
How
it.
difficult was it for you to manage working part time and working, because ultimately you've got two jobs at that, and you're only 18, 19 at the time?
I needed a car.
Yeah.
I passed my driving I passed my driving test.
Yeah.
I went home. I said, "Mum, I need a car." She goes, "Go, mate. Go get one."
Yeah.
I walked out the door thinking, "Yo, the bank don't say I can get a car." So I went to Graft, and I remember there was two. Remember, if you remember, I worked at Sainsbury's first.
Yeah. I remember you
Bought that Ford Fiesta.
Yeah.
Amazing car, wicked. And then I started getting.
Mate, we went to London in that. It's just about.
Let's not talk about the speeding fine. Just to let everybody know, disclaimer, he said he's going to sort my fine out. This is pre, his qualifications, business and all of this. The parking fine did not get sorted.
It did in the end.
Yeah, it did in the end. £450 in the end. Wicked day out though. But no, working at that helped quite a bit, man, Ronnie. I look at it now and I got to thank you a lot for that. Not just the experience, but you actually took things seriously. It kind of gave me an oversight of not just finance. I would say working with yourself showed me that you need to adapt. And the way that I remember when you was on your client meetings, I'm like, how is he doing this? He's going from that person to this person. And I'm just like, yeah, adapting to situations. And to be fair, that's one of the biggest things that I probably sponged off here,
Yeah.
Being able to talk to people and just understand them and what they want, just straight to the point.
I always say this though, like I'm a very straight to the point kind of guy. Like I can't mirror someone or something like that. If I think I can help you, I will help you.
Yeah.
I'll do something for you, but you just got to trust me with it.
100%.
And that's it. And I'll sort it out. Yeah, but I'm not going to sell it to you like, oh, this, that, and the other. You want to work with me, you can work with me. I will give you results, and that's it.
I agree.
Yeah. So you were working. Obviously, you were working at Sainsbury's. You bought your Fiesta. You then ended up working at Deluxe.
Yeah. Dessert place.
Yeah, but you were doing that alongside working with me. How are you managing to do all that graft at such a tender age? What was it? Just your drive and determination?
Nah, it was seeing the struggles, Ronnie. I'll tell you, and one of the biggest stories is looking at your bank balance and just thinking to yourself, this is not enough. And again, going back to society, like social factors as well. There were certain things where if I want it, you've got to work for it.
Yeah.
You know, if I want to go to certain lounges or if I want desserts, if I want food, I can't keep asking my mum for money.
Yeah.
Because I've seen what she went through.
Yeah.
You know, seen what she's gone through. I'm like, I don't want to take anything off her, you know.
Yeah.
I want to make it myself.
Yeah.
Let me do what I want to do with, you know, what I can earn, you know. It was hard, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend 2 jobs. Mental health-wise, I broke down, man.
Yeah.
Killed me completely. And I remember, you know, I'm not going to say I was late, but there was a few times, if you remember, like, lack of sleep. Literally waking up and thinking, oh, shit, okay, I've got work. Finishing your work, literally straight on the thingy. But it was the only way to survive, you know.
Yeah.
I couldn't even spend the money half the time.
Yeah.
Working all the time. If you remember when you lot went to London,
Yeah.
I couldn't come with you guys.
Yeah, you were Sainsbury's.
Just working.
Yeah.
And then I think that was one of the biggest things when it comes to determination from current jobs. You know, I ain't gonna turn around and sit here and say, oh, you know, I'm a crypto trader. I've gone into this investment.
Yeah.
You know, God willingly, I've got a very good job.
Yeah.
You know, and all the factors behind it. You know, I'm making good money. I feel financially free.
Yeah.
You know, I can go out and I can eat what I want when I want, and I can take anybody anywhere. If you was to turn around to me now and say, let's go to Dubai, I'll be like, okay, I'm scared of flying. However, you know, let's book it, let's go.
Yeah.
You know, there's no restrictions, and that's a key thing. I think everyone just needs to think if you want better for yourself, you know, you've got to work hard and work on yourself. And I think that's one of the things which is missing nowadays. And I don't know whether that's households, I don't know if that's experience, but I feel like TikTok, Instagram, it's just made people think you can get money like this.
No, it's not. You can't
know.
easy money. You can't get easy money.
100%. You know, there's a lot of people, like, obviously I know quite a few of these social media influencers, and I'm talking a lot of male social media influencers. What they show you on there it's not real.
Yeah, it's not.
You know, it's not real whatsoever. Like I'm seeing things, I'm like, yeah, but you don't realize it's not really assets that the person owns, you know.
Look, we have it all the time, like obviously doing accounts for people that are social media influencers per se, and they're posting X, Y, and Z, and you're like, bro, I do your accounts, bro. Like, I know you're not on that.
Yeah, and the thing is, I always say, I think one of the biggest things, and this is something that you're, you know, conversation with your dad. You know, live within your means.
Yeah.
Live within your means. You know, don't get me wrong. Everyone wants a little this, that, the other. You know, I got a bad addiction to trainers. I'll be honest with you. But
no, but you don't have bad addiction to trainers. You got bad addiction for bad trainers, bro.
no, let's not get into that.
Them Off-White.
Listen, the Off-Whites look good until you like told me that they look like a murder weapon.
And then you got rid of them.
No comment. I made £10 on. No, I didn't. I lost £10 on them. Yeah, crap training, man. I'm telling you. But no, it's.
But like you said, man, if you want anything in life, you have to work for it.
Yeah.
No one's just gonna give it to you. And the people that sometimes are giving it, that's a very small minority.
To be fair, you know what? I live in you know when I'm thinking now, I'm just looking back, and we've just recently done our house.
Yeah.
You know. But we haven't paid bags like these people.
Yeah.
Because my family are grafters.
Yeah.
You know, we do the sanding ourselves, we do the plastering ourselves, painting it up. I supervise, you know, I ain't gonna lie here and say, I've done everything. I'll be honest with you, I'm the bank accountant. I'm the accountant. Here you go, here's the money. But no, seriously, I think it could be just like the way we've been brought up is traditionally, you know, do it yourself. No one else is gonna do it for you. And I don't know, I don't know, I've never been fazed by designer stuff or anything like this.
Yeah.
You know, I had someone come up to me the other day and say, yo, your jeans are flames. I go, what do you mean? Maybe I'm getting old, I don't know what the terminology is. I go, flames. I go, yeah, they're nice, innit? He goes, yeah. I go, yeah, quick one, innit? And then he goes, yeah, yo, what are they? Balmain. I said, Bal who? He goes, Amiri. I go, in my brain, I'm thinking, brother, this is nothing that you're thinking. You know, he's thinking I got £700-800 jeans on, straight up. Boohoo man, £13. I don't need none of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I said, you know, there's certain things you'll always have. Like you get your trainers, you know, you get your little T-shirts here and there, watches.
Yeah.
But it's just all a show, you know, Ronnie.
What makes you happy?
I'll be honest.
What makes you content?
It's changed, you know.
Okay.
It's been like periods. First, what made me happy was, I think the biggest thing first was, you know, when I had the social constraints. I'm like, I've got this, I've got that. And then you realize that's just you feeding your ego.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest things that makes me happy now is is actually just making people smile and laugh, because, you know, it's not always a unserious thing. You know, I'm not trying to, if someone's just, you know, had something unfortunate, I'm not going to make them laugh in that situation, but it's making them feel better.
Yeah.
And mental health is a big thing.
Yeah.
You know, don't get me wrong. You know, one of the biggest things I've been told is, yo, man up, do this, do that. But at the same time, it's checking up on your friends. You know, I'm in this I'm in this group, and you know what? There's one brother in there. I ain't even gonna name him. Funny brother, really good group of lads. And it's called Homie Check. Homie Check. But no, seriously, like checking up on your friends.
Yeah.
You know, just making them laugh, making them smile. That's one of the biggest things that makes me happy. You know.
Tell me about your journey when you ended up leaving university, getting your first job.
See, again, I've never had to struggle like that, you know.
Yeah.
And I think it's more because I'm talkative. I get, like, if I meet someone, I want to know about you.
But then don't you think that you got your first job because of the job that you had beforehand?
100%.
Yeah.
You know, got my experience. That's massive.
No, it's like when you were working in dealership and things like that, you were effectively networking.
100%.
So when people looked at you and then they thought that they might have a job in their place, they ended up saying, oh yeah, this person, he's reliable.
And that's exactly what happened, Ronnie.
Yeah.
I spoke to, like, literally, and, you know, I spoke to one of the owner's family who was in finance. Big up, you know who you are. But literally, you know, I asked him, I go, you know, is there any jobs going at your place? You know, you're a finance manager.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm at this point, I'm happy to just get experience, Ronnie. I'm not thinking about paychecks.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you know, I've got more other things that's going on. But literally, I just said to him, I go, yo, is there? He goes, yeah, there is. Accounts payable. And this is one thing I'm going to say to everybody. When you come out of uni, unless you've done medicine, unless you've done something which is, you know, such a niche, you know, chemical engineering, this, that, the other, don't have hopes of getting this 6-figure salary from the start.
Looking back at it now, would you go to university again?
Never. Ronnie, I promise you now, I should have, and I say this all the time, I should have finished the AAT and gone straight to the professional qualification. University was good because I think it probably helped me with social parameters. It helped me, like I said, you know, it just made me adapt to different circumstances a lot more, dealing with things. But apart from that, university, it is literally, in this day and age, it's a waste. Yeah. You know, it does open up doors. You know, if you've got a door there, you got your hand through the letterbox. You're not even opening the door. Yeah. You know, your hand's through the letterbox and you got the loan pulling you back. We won't get into that though. But literally, university in this day and age, I think apprenticeships are the way.
100%.
Apprenticeships are definitely the way, and you know, if anyone can find an apprenticeship in this day and age, do it. Yeah. You know, it is difficult. It's not. I'm not saying it's easy, but again, going to networking events. You know, even just making the call, like, you know, certain things that I used to do. I used to call accounting firms up. Literally any firm, I used to just call up just to find out things. And that was just me, just wanted to understand certain things. But like I said, going back to when I worked with you, you know, you asked, you know, did I know that I wanted to be a controller in finance? I didn't even think I'd get there. You know, being in a senior position at the age that I am, you know, I've been in the position now for 3 years. And I think to myself, how did I get there? And, you know, everyone always says, what advice would you...
So what was your actual journey? So you started off at accounts payable, which is quite entry level.
Entry level accounts payable. And I'm going to tell you now, and this, you know, I want this to be public. Yeah. The salary that I got paid 9 years ago, 'cause I've been at the company for 9 years, was about 14 grand.
Serious?
Yo, 14.
Your first job was 14 grand?
14 grand.
Full time?
For me, I was thankful, you know what I mean? I'm like, yo... I got money. I got petrol money coming in.
But you know what? People don't understand that, Anna, because like, granted, you got 14 grand at that particular moment in time, but it gave you a platform to learn and develop.
Gave me a platform, helped me with certain skills. Yeah. But let's just pause for a second because I still was working at the lodge.
Yeah, you were.
I was still there,
Yeah.
and I had the same conversation.
Yeah.
You know, it goes, yo, what do you want to do with your life?
Yeah.
But again, you know, when I worked at in the accounts payable team, then the person left, ended up being
How
AP team
how
leader.
quick was your progression then?
I got lucky with the first progression, I'll be honest
Yeah.
with you. You know, I was there, done really well, and then, you know, ended up becoming team leader, which was
Yeah.
good, AP team leader.
Yeah.
Little boost and that on the salary. I was
Yeah. How
gassed.
quick was that?
It was within the first 4 months because the person left and there was nobody else there.
Yeah.
Everyone else moved, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But no, I got lucky with that. Very lucky. I say coincidentally lucky.
Yeah.
But then I was stuck in that position for about 3 years.
Yeah.
You know, interview after interview. One of the biggest things, and I say this to everybody, when you're working in a corporate company, applying for interviews and getting that interview experience is clinical.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there's people that have the qualifications. They have 100% in their tests. You know, they've got experience with Einstein, Doctor Who, but they don't know how to talk to people. They don't know how to, you know, one of the biggest things in an interview is not just about, you know, I've done so many interviews with people now, and one of the biggest things that I've learned is in an interview, you need to show what you're going to bring to the table and how you're going to develop the team. What efficiencies are you going to bring to the process? And a secret one, and this is a bonus one for anyone doing interviews out there, you need to make sure that you show them that you fit in.
100%.
And this is something which is an unconscious biasness.
Yeah, 100%. Like, obviously, if I had 5 CVs in front of me
Yeah.
now, one might be the most qualified, but if I think if the one that's the least qualified will fit into our team better and
Yeah.
progress better, I'd probably go for him.
No, first,
Yeah.
would you recruit a Liverpool fan?
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah.
I'm not hearing.
Football's not.
I'm not saying.
I'm not
nothing.
tribal in. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm more a cricket fan nowadays.
Oh, God. What,
Yeah.
are you sporting nowadays?
England, I support England.
I thought you were a Pakistan supporter.
Nah.
I see.
Only when they play against India. To be fair, I went to the Champions Trophy final.
I didn't know Gujarat was in India. Just saying, you know, just putting that out there.
I went to the Champions Trophy final and everyone was just India fans there. I was literally the only New Zealand fan. I was the only New Zealand fan there.
Yeah.
So then when you progressed then, obviously you were team leader. How long after that? So you were there for 3 years, team leader.
Yeah, I was in 3 years in that position.
Did you always look in progressing in the same company that you're in at the moment, or did you ever think that I might get opportunities better elsewhere, or are you...
For me, it was a bit different, you know.
Yeah.
For me, it wasn't just about, I always look at things practical.
Yeah.
And what I always say is understand you've got to take risks. You know, they always say you're either risk adverse or
Risk averse.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
either
Either risk or risk averse.
either you're in it or you're out.
Yeah,
Simple
yeah,
as.
yeah.
You know,
Would you say that you take risks?
No,
No.
I
You're
am.
happy with the comforts?
I like routine,
You like routine?
but the routine has to satisfy, and I need to make sure that I'm valued in that routine.
You see, like, obviously in this podcast we have a lot of people like entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
but I always say the same thing, that, you know, there are people out there like yourself that are very good for 9 to 5 and there's nothing wrong with it. Although social media might tell you everyone should have a business now and everyone should work for themselves, it's not like that.
I'm gonna get into that in a
Yeah.
little, you know.
Yeah.
Let's just finish the journey, and then
Yeah.
we're gonna go into that, because
Yeah.
that's one of the things I was gonna say at the start. You know, when you
Yeah.
introduced, I was gonna say, yeah, I'm a crypto trader, and then just go no.
No, yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna go into that because there's
Yeah.
certain things that I think would need to be addressed.
Yeah.
You know, but we'll go into that because
Yeah.
I think that's, you know, a bit more not personal, but there's more into it.
Yeah.
But anyway, going back to the management accounting, I was there for, you know, in that role for 3 years. And, you know, again, talking to people, networking, understanding jobs, taking things on. You know, I'm massive at that. You know, if you tell me to do something, I'll get it done. However, if I get it done, some people might say teachers, but...
No, but are you a kind of person that I'm here from 9, I leave at 5?
Nah.
You give me something at the end of that, I'm not doing it.
I was working yesterday till about, 7 o'clock.
Okay, that's good.
On social hours, but that's on my
Work
own
ethic,
accord.
yeah.
Like now, where I am in the position of, you know, a controller.
Yeah.
You know, yes, I do have a team. However, I would never expect my team to work on social hours. And even if they do, then one of the big things that I promote is leniency. Because
Yeah.
if this person's worked till 9 o'clock, I ain't gonna say next day, okay, yeah, cool, same again. You know, I will keep them things into account, and you know, we're very flexible like
Yeah.
that. That's one of the biggest things that I always look at. You know, when we say whatever progression, from MA to senior management accountant to becoming a controller. One of the biggest things you've got to remember is practicality and having realism behind everything.
Yeah.
Where you live. I know for a fact now, and I'm not even going to talk about LinkedIn opportunities.
Yeah.
I've been offered jobs
Yeah.
in London, getting an extra 10 grand on,
Not worth it.
getting this, whatever. But I'm saying to myself, one second, let's just take into account, right now, bills are whatever bills are. There's not much outgoing in that sense. But I'm saving quite a lot. If I go to London, how much is a house there now? I think someone said to me the other day that they're renting a house in London, and I said to him, I go, how much you paying? He goes, 1,800. I go, yeah, 1,800.
That's probably not even a house. That's probably an apartment.
Ronnie, I'm thinking to myself, I'm saying, is it this massive mansion? Because in Birmingham, 1,200 gets you something in Great Ball.
Yeah, a 3-bed.
3-bed.
Yeah, like my house.
3-bed.
Yeah.
But you talk.
It's got more expensive now in Birmingham.
He told me he had a room and
Yeah.
a shared bathroom
Yeah,
for
yeah.
1,800. No parking space.
A shared bathroom.
He's got
as well.
the same key as somebody else
Yeah.
living with him. Where he's telling me when he goes downstairs, my toast might be gone. I'm saying I don't know where you're living. I go,
It's not worth it.
it's
not worth
mad.
it. Yeah.
But housing crazy.
Yeah.
But no, like you just said, once you get to that place, some people are going to be people that just want to work 9 to 5.
Nothing wrong with it.
If you're earning a good salary and you're financially free where you can buy what you want, do what you want and provide for your family, when your boiler goes down and you need to pay 2.5 grand.
Why?
There you
why
go.
Why would you want a business?
Why wouldn't I?
No, why would you? If you're in a comfortable situation in your 9 to 5, yeah.
Okay.
Why would you want that business where you've got you don't know where your money's going to come from, when your money's going to come. You don't know how many hours you're going to have to work for it. You've potentially going to have to manage staff and things like that.
Yeah.
You don't know how long this is going to last for the business in terms of that. There's so many external factors when it comes to business.
I think some of the things which people need to understand as well, and I'm not a advocate to say everyone needs to do a 9 to 5 because there are people out there that are very successful, but they need to understand when they've got these businesses what insurances they need to take.
Yeah.
Let's just say they get made they go bankrupt.
Yeah.
Have they got the insurance to cover themselves?
Yeah.
How long is it going to take them? What assets? There's
It's
so
a lot of
much
risk.
into it.
Yeah, there's a lot of risk. You're putting everything on the line, basically.
And one thing which I genuinely I hate hearing, everyone goes, if you've got a limited company and you liquidate and this, that, the other. I'll tell you one big thing about this, and this isn't bragged about or spoken about quite a lot. You've got to remember that person who's on the director, when they're opening another company or they go for them loans or whatnot,
it's gonna be hard.
you've got a history there. People think, oh yeah, liquidated, yeah, okay,
Now start
it's
again.
gone.
Yeah, that's not
Because
how it works.
we do our checks on certain companies and the directors and whatnot, and if there is certain things straight away, you're on next day pay. We need that payment next day, prepay us.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, there's a lot of insurances, but having a business, I always say, if it works for that person, do it, go for it. If you are passionate about something, just be the best at what you want to be the best at.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, because it took, like I said, it took me, I've been in the company 9 years.
Yeah.
I've been lucky in regards to where I am and what position I'm at.
What next? What's
Next,
your ambition?
you know what? What's next?
Whose job are you going after next?
Well, to be fair, the CFO is going to be in the company for the next 10 years. I know that for a fact. But I think what's next is looking to where I'm thinking about to move completely. And I've been looking at Dubai.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's a plan for the next 4 or 5 years. It's something which
You can't move Dubai on your own.
No,
You'll get
100%.
lonely.
100%.
1 month, 2 months, you'll get lonely.
Because you've gone there with your spouse, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, killing it.
Yeah.
Killing it. I need that Dubai money. But no, seriously, I think people that have that, mentality of, I need to invest, make this business. Sometimes it's hard. I know people now, and this is how crazy it is, that they own businesses. But this person works at Mackey's on Saturday, Sunday, and I asked him, I go, why? He goes, it just helps my miscellaneous items. Some people they just want to continue working. You've got to have your own kind of, when you look at your life, you know what you want to do, in the sense where whether you're going to work, whether you're going to invest, whether you're going to be in a business, but how much time you want to put into something that is on your own accord. You know, you can have a successful business by putting 24 hours a day. You could have a
is it worth
successful
it?
job. Exactly.
What are you giving up? What are you giving
know?
up in them 24 hours a day? Whose time are you giving up? It's not just your time. Once you got a family, it's not just your time.
And this is why I say I'm lucky in that sense.
Yeah.
Yes, I get my annual leave. Yes, I get this. You know, and you know, I've got my benefits. If I go sick, you know, I've got my covered. You know, Bupa health insurance. I got all the
I
private.
don't think Bupa health insurance will cover you for steroid abuse.
Oh, this guy. Listen, we're drug tested. I'm natural. There's not, I don't see no injections here. But nah, natty for life, people. And if you need a blood test, go to Transform now. Big up. But no, seriously, like the benefits that come from a workplace, you know, I would say sometimes it's that job security. That's what you want.
100%.
And for me, again, like you said, you either take the risk or you feel secure. You know, there's so many people, so many stories that I've heard where people are working for a company and they're absolutely loving life. You know, they've got their benefits, they're working certain hours that they can. And I think this hybrid system of working, you know, where a lot of people are working from home, it suits a lot of people now,
It does,
you know.
yeah.
It's massive.
You've obviously had a mixture of working from home, working from the office.
Yeah, I like working at the office, you know.
Yeah. What has it done for the culture of your company? This predominantly working from home, has it changed the culture?
It's been positive in the sense where people are happier that they are more flexible.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of them where, let's just say something's happening at home.
Yeah.
You know, they're able to be at home.
What about embedding new staff into your culture?
In what sense?
So if you've got new staff that have come, so predominantly before you were...
like new starters.
Yeah, so you got new starters. How can you embed them into your culture?
So this is something which I think it's kind of normal in every company now, you know.
Yeah.
The first couple of months, you keep them in the office 5 days a week.
So it's not... No,
Yeah. Because the thing is working from home is really good.
Yeah.
But one of the things you've got to remember, working from home does, you know, stray away from development.
Yeah.
And that's something which is a fact.
Yeah.
You know, if you look at development for individuals, you know, working from home is not... Sometimes, you know, you've got to remember, when you're in the office, you've got 3 people. You know, person A asks a question, person B goes to answer, person C is listening.
Yeah.
You're developing more than one person at the same time. You know, it's crazy to kind of understand that. Now, and when you're on Teams, people don't even put their cameras on sometimes. It's like, am I talking to AI? You know, this is basically chat GPT. But no, you know, Teams there's that social element has just gone with working at home.
Obviously, with your life, you've got work and you got gym. How important is gym for you in terms of with your career?
Okay, so 1 second here. Let me just shout out my coach from Alpha Training.
Okay.
Firstly, what I would say...
Just to FYI, I think Naib is more of your coach.
No, he's not.
Because
Listen.
Naib tells you things like years in advance.
No, he doesn't. No, don't you dare, man.
Because your coach says it.
Listen, Ronnie.
You lap it up.
This guy just... no, I'm not having that. I'm not having that.
I'm just
What's his has he got PT?
He doesn't need
he's
it.
PT level 500.
He doesn't need it. If he's speaking facts, he's speaking facts.
Just to let you guys know, yeah, he likes Naib more than he likes me. I'm just saying that out there now. He went Umrah with him. You know, we ain't going into
Palestine,
that.
actually.
I thought you went Umrah with him?
Palestine.
Was it Palestine?
Yeah.
Are you going Umrah or Hajj with him?
Inshallah. One day.
Okay. Oh.
But how is it in terms of discipline? You know, that discipline that you have, that I'm going to finish work. How important is it that you're able to go to gym and switch off from your work?
It's hard, you know.
Hard.
It's hard, man. There's certain times where I finish work and you're knackered.
Yeah.
You just want to go sleep. You want a nap.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's literally, I'll drive to the gym. I'm sitting outside for 20 minutes. I'm just sitting outside looking at the gym saying, do I really want to go inside? And then you realize, like, again, it's having that positive mindset.
Yeah.
Even when I'm inside the gym, sometimes I'm looking around and I'm like, same old people, same old thing. You right? How you doing, Josh? You all right? Nah. But it's, again, for me, it's having the routine.
Are there the days that then you would just go and just do 1 rep?
You actual joker. Listen, the 1 rep was on 200 kilo. You know what? You show me a video of you getting that.
Don't need it.
You know, I will give you lifetime Red Bull.
My ego doesn't need me to to lift gyms.
Oh, but no, seriously, it's again, like I said, it's the routine. But
Yeah.
I'll tell
How
you,
important is routine in your life?
100%,
Yeah.
massive.
Have you, like, during COVID, did you fall out of a routine because you weren't working or you were working throughout?
I'm not gonna say this. I'm gonna again, disclaimer. I'm not gonna give deep information, but
Yeah.
we had keys to a gym.
I was there with you.
So
That's the only time I went gym.
To be fair, we were lucky in that sense. So our
Yeah.
bubble was the gym.
Yeah.
But no, routine is massive, man. And again, you just, it's like when you're telling someone a story. You have a start, you have your mid, you have your intermission, carry on, and done.
Yeah.
Start to finish. And this is why sometimes I do think I'm on the spectrum,
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest with you, like if like that's my line A.
Yeah.
If there's a little swerve out of there, I can lose it,
Can you?
Can lose it. And I think you lot have seen a few times. But no, I like planning, preparation, and making sure things go according.
Do you think you got ADHD?
No comment.
Nah,
comment.
like, not
No
in
comment.
Not in a bad way.
I don't know, and I've never had it checked. And
No.
don't trust. Again, I hate hospitals, man. I got
Yeah,
phobia of them.
same.
Don't like them.
Yeah.
I walk in and I think, yeah, I'm gonna die.
If you did have ADHD, would you think of it as a superpower?
100%.
Yeah.
Because
So you do think of it as a superpower?
I'm so good at problem solving.
Yeah.
But then again, that's a negative as well. Because sometimes you think you got the answers and you don't.
And you want answers to everything.
Exactly. And I'm trying to solve problems. I'm trying to solve somebody's problems. I'm like, yeah, this is how you need to do this, that, the other. I'm like, have you tried doing it yet? And then it's like sometimes it could be ADHD or it could be overthinking.
So what do you think the drawbacks of social media and what do you think the advantages are?
Okay. Firstly, let's go to the advantages because everyone uses social media. Social media is good to connect you with your friends and people that are in similar kind of roles. You can actually follow certain people to get more advice. There's so much information out there, whether it's relevant information. Sometimes I know, I've got my nephews and nieces, man, like they're just on there and their reels just going like this.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking to myself, I'm going, it's just like they're brainwashed. But advantages definitely for information that you need, you will definitely find something. When I'm going out and I'm thinking about a restaurant, you can go on TikTok and TikTok will,
TikTok's
I'm going
better than Google now.
Yeah, 100%, especially for searching. It's amazing. But again, for information, definitely connecting people. What are the disadvantages of social media? Where do I start? What you see is not what you actually. It's not real.
It's not real, yeah.
It can start to become very toxic. I'm not going to say people's egos, but people are there for the likes.
Yeah.
Some
people will feed off of likes, and if they don't get likes, that upsets them.
Yeah. I've seen a situation where some people will only speak to a certain person if they've got like 10,000 followers on their Insta. I'm thinking to myself, is this what? I'm like, out of them 10,000 people, how many of them actually will come pick you up if you need a lift? Don't get me wrong, my account's private. I've only got about 1,000 people on there, which, to be honest with you, I know majority of them. I would say I know 85% of them.
Yeah.
Like they're all people that I actually know. But one of the massive things about social media that scares me is the misinformation that's given. And this is where it goes to the individual as well, because they're at fault as well. Because some information that people get, why are they not questioning it and saying, okay, let me do my own research now?
Yeah.
Like people would look at something, they look at this Red Bull and they go, oh, you know what? This Red Bull actually is, a red cat. Yeah. And they're like, okay, yeah, social. He said that. He's got 1 million followers. Oh, wicked.
Yeah.
I'm thinking to myself, I'm going, pause a minute.
Yeah.
You've got your own brain here.
Yeah.
Why are you not questioning it? Why are you not doing your own research? Validate it yourself and then say, okay, you know what? Yeah, this person's correct. But nowadays, people will go on social media and say, yeah, Kim Kardashian's right. And I think one of the biggest, problems with social media is I know the main thing is the influencing side, but it's some of the things that it's done to society. The influence that it has on the way people think, the way people navigate. I'm still one of the traditional people.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is I'll watch a movie and if my grandma's in the room and there's a kissing scene, them ones, you go like this, you're looking, you don't get me wrong, you're peeking out of this bit, you're peeking, but you go, you're change the channel. secret, yeah, yo, you gonna change channel? But nowadays, the way like how influential people have been with the dress sense, you know, don't get me. And I'm not saying everyone is like that, because you know there are restrictions, there are boundaries. You know, social media has helped me, you know, learn about myself.
Yeah.
You know, I'm talking about, you know, like we said, ADHD, positive thinking, whatnot, you know, determination. There's some really good social media guys out there that, you know, I'm not going to give no shout outs to anyone because then I'm going to get people going to go crazy with me.
Yeah.
But no, the way it's influenced things like even some of the scenes now in movies, man. I'm thinking to myself,
it's
I'm going, what's
madness.
going on?
Madness.
Yeah.
You don't have any siblings. How was it growing up without siblings?
You ever played Monopoly with a cat? And losing to the cat.
And then the cat disappear.
Yeah, let's not talk about Simba. Let's not talk about Simba, man. He wanted to go back to Lion King, innit? He wanted to go to that live action. But no, not growing up with siblings. I wouldn't say difficult because I've been lucky again. You know, I've got a lot of people out there.
as well.
It gets lonely, man.
Yeah.
It does get lonely because it makes you closer to your cousins.
Yeah.
Because, for me, if there's any problems with my cousins, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to get involved.
Yeah,
I'll help if I can.
Yeah.
But yeah, being an only child, it's boring, man.
How important were your friends?
Very. I don't think, if I didn't, I'll be honest with you, massive,
You know, throughout life, you go through like obviously primary school, secondary school, college, university. You might have different friend groups along those life. At what point did you settle upon your friend groups?
I'd say uni,
Uni.
It was probably you, Naib, and Sid.
Yeah.
And obviously your older brother.
Oh yeah, he's a tag along.
Over 45s now, innit? Now, Salma as well, man. I'll be honest, meeting you guys, like, Naib's always been my boy.
Yeah.
Even though I know Ronnie first. He knew me from reception. I've known Naib now for 26 years, man.
Wow.
Yeah, longer than some of these youths have been born for. But I tell ya, again, they always say, choose your friend circles. And obviously you guys are my closest. Obviously, you have your closest friend circle.
Yeah, and
then I've got my other friend circles, my gym friend circle.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't just call them my gym friend circle because, man like Dean from TMC, Dean, Asif, Warner, even Waleed, Triggs, these guys.
Do you want to bet any of them out? Are any of them on steroids?
Huh?
You going to bet any of them out? No.
Natty gang only train with naturals. Come on, man, Ronnie. Come on, man. What you doing to me? If anyone's on gear, it's Seb. That's what I'm saying. Because, I've been watching his Insta and he's just lifted 180 kilo and I'm just looking at him going, how the hell did you get so strong?
He's a big man, bro. He's always been
The only thing he's been curling is what's it packets? Or
He's always been
he's
strong,
massive,
man. He's massive, man.
To be fair, everyone I know, I can't vouch for anybody, but I know my groups.
Yeah.
They're natty.
Yeah.
They're good for it.
Yeah.
Some of them are just crazy strong.
Yeah.
You look at Warner, absolutely, he's just different with it, man.
He is,
For his age and what he's doing, and he's still playing football.
And he's still playing
They
football.
won the cup with can't remember the Hill United.
Hill Sporting.
Yeah, man. They're literally smashing it, man.
Yeah.
Big up to Hill Sporting. Bello scored that corner, innit? But no, seriously. You have your different friend circles, but your different friend circles will influence you in a certain way. But it goes back to decision making. With your gym friend circles, you take your gym advice. With your life friend circles,
Do you think you're easily influenced?
I'm not gonna say I'm easily influenced.
Yeah,
I'm easily provoked.
Very
I'm easily provoked.
But not easily influenced.
It's because, what it is? It's not even a joke. That's funny. It's the laughs. It's the ha-ha. It's the, when people make them like, and you're just like, what are you laughing for? It's not even that funny.
Have you ever left WhatsApp groups?
I've lost... Nearly about to leave the country. Many WhatsApp groups. I don't know how many times I've left your WhatsApp group.
Do you think it's because you're an only child and you haven't had that growing up, someone taking the piss out of you growing up and it's just been normal?
It could be, I've never thought of it that deep, to be fair.
Yeah.
'Cause I've never really seen it as I'm an only child, just because
You've always had family around you,
family, friends. I've always had people around me.
Yeah.
I've never been on my own, unless I'm going to the gulag when I'm training. Because I prefer to go gym by myself.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, like, I love my friends' sessions.
I'll be honest with you, like I've done gym sessions with you and you've absolutely killed me, and I still remember that day when you did that leg circuit with me, bro. I was dead for a week, But the only reason why you train on your own is because you don't want to go past that barrier.
You're
And
right,
I
you
think
know.
Naib would push you past
Forget
that
no,
barrier.
he's dead. He's dead. Let him have his, when a man is telling me he's having 10 eggs, I'm thinking about his shopping bill. You know that finance brain. How much is he spending on eggs and beef every day?
Might have a chicken farm in the garden.
And he must have some beehives as well. The amount of honey he has. But no, seriously, friend circles is massive.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I think one of the biggest things, and it's something Sid said, you are who you chill with.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, your social construct of, you know, your friends are generally the mirror of your self-image.
Yeah.
It's massive.
And I think it's like a thing that we kind of learned growing up. If you go to a perfume shop, you come out smelling like perfume.
Yeah,
It's the same thing with your friends group.
100%.
You end up becoming like that.
And I think meeting, you know, don't get me wrong, you know, infinity love to you.
Yeah.
Always. You know, I think that's the infinity love. Knives just like my guy, innit? Yeah. I'm always, you know, Salma's cool as well. But Sid, I think Sid has had one of the monstrous impacts in my life, especially when I was going through a very bad patch in life.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, you were talking about, you know, doing the over hours and all of this. It kind of showed me what purpose is.
Yeah,
You know, a lot of people are lost with purpose. And, you know, going back into social media, people find purpose with people. You know, they go, oh, look, this person's doing this. Why can't I do that?
Yeah,
You know, let me do this. Let me try do that. But one of the biggest things Sid said to me, he goes, you know, what is your purpose? It wasn't Sid that said that. It was somebody else. But Sid kind of, you know, asked it again. He goes, you know, what is your purpose?
Yeah.
I'm confused, man, thinking,
What is your purpose?
wow, this is, you know, let's
Shall
get
we
to
leave
the
that part
nitty-gritty.
two?
No. I'll tell people exactly what my purpose is. And this should be everybody's purpose. And if it's not, they need to get their thinking hats on.
Yeah.
And they need to stop being worried. Because, you know, we were talking about social media.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people that are in this position, and, you know, a lot of these rich business owners, you know, absolutely ecstatic for them. But you know what they lose? They lose that fear for God.
Yeah.
Because they can fund what they need to
They
fund
think
themselves.
they think they do it themselves.
You know,
but it's not.
They crash a car, yeah, I'll buy another one.
Yeah.
We crash a car, and the first thing we think is, okay, yeah, you know what, God willingly.
Yeah. Alhamdulillah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's that fear of God. Like, my purpose in life, to be honest with you, is, you know, on that day of judgment, when I get buried and God says to me, you know, this is where you're going, it's justified with the life that I've lived.
Yeah.
It's massive, Ronnie.
Yeah.
And when Sid was explaining things, because you got to remember, like, there's a lot of Islamic influence in our friend circle.
Yeah,
and some of the conversations that we have, I'll be fair, man.
Our friend circle predominantly is Islamic, you know.
Yeah.
Like, the conversations are predominantly
it's been
Islamic.
amazing. I think, like,
Yeah.
you know, when people
It's
say
taking
to
a
me,
turn, and like our friend circle for what it was to what it is now is taking a massive turn.
100%. All right, just a disclaimer, when I first met Ronnie, he used to listen to One Direction. He used to... All right, A-Class comes up. And I'm thinking, yo, what are you doing? And then obviously, you know, he changed the music taste and whatnot. But, yo,
I changed my music taste because of you.
But I think one of the biggest influences that have changed you, and it's not just your daughter or your other half, is just your outlook on life.
Yeah, mindset.
Mindset, man.
Mindset's
Because
the most important
for
thing.
you to be able to move to Dubai and just work with it,
Yeah.
different, you know, Ronnie,
Yeah.
different. And I'll be honest with you, like I say, you know, I'm not going to say role models. I never ever see a person as my role model.
Yeah.
I might see it as an influence. I might look up to that person. But the only role model I have is the Almighty. Simple as.
Yeah.
I want to get there.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us on another inspiring episode of Evolve and Inspire. If this story has moved you today, remember that every great journey begins with a single step. And sometimes that step is simply believing in the possibility of change. To our listeners out there facing your own challenges, remember, your current circumstances doesn't define your future. Every person we feature on this show started exactly where you might be right now, at the beginning of their journey. If you've been inspired by today's conversation, make sure to follow us on all our social media platforms that we will tag below. And don't forget to subscribe to never miss an episode. You can also join our community and continue these conversations by visiting our website. A special thank you to our guest for sharing his remarkable journey with us today. Your story will undoubtedly spark hope and motivation in countless others. Until next time, keep evolving, keep inspiring, and remember, it's not where you start, it's where you choose to go. This has been Evolve and Inspire. I'm your host, Huzaifa. Thank you for listening.